Just a pretty shot with the mist. Entering another dinky little town. A little bit farther, a pretty little white church. Here, a water feature created probably for irrigation, but creating a nice little pond effect, plus this lovely little runoff. Imagine living in that home there and being able to listen to that music all the time. Here's an irony. Just outside of this little town is this cemetery with some substantial little crypts, if you will, but the irony is overlooking the fairy fields that some of them might have spent their lifetime working in. Life goes on. The wheel spins. There's something I haven't seen before in this building. These grinding wheels. They look like they're made out of cement, so they're probably exactly that. There may be a more recent thing. This may have been the building, though, that did all of that. And the trail continues up here. Here's this little church with its quite elaborate cemetery. Well, we're approaching the little town of Lastres. In these little towns, nothing's open. And if it is, all it has is pastries that are pre-packaged. This little town is interesting so far because they have a sign saying no going to the bathroom in their town. But the point is they probably will not offer any bathrooms either. Here's a nasty section of the road that you don't want to do at night. It would be difficult, if not dangerous. This is the inside of the hostel. The bar is there through those doors at 6 o'clock in the morning. But this is a family farm that was converted into family farm building. It's a huge building. Converted into this albergue. And it's very beautifully done. There's rooms for couples with double beds. There's individual rooms. There's one giant room with bunk beds. I've come from quite a little bit higher up there, behind those trees somewhere. And the sun's now starting to try to climb out over the hills to the east, or mountains, and here are valleys filled with some kind of fog, but not all of them. I wonder what causes that. And then this is the continuation of the trail going in that direction, to which there is a fairly good sized city. Can't see it now. Another pan across this valley as the sun gets a little bit farther up. You appreciably notice the temperature get warmer as I drop down this mountainside at a fairly quick rate. You can see the trail's now more visible. This is probably an old farmer's road that was either used as or for the Camino, or the Camino was also here and it just became the farmer's road, and it's been expanded for that purpose. And then there are highways up to my left here that are newer asphalt. We've seen rocks like this before where people pile individual stones on there. In theory, you should have one stone that you've brought from home that represents all your sins, because this is another one of the get out of jail passes that the Catholic Church provides, apparently. And that is, if you leave a stone at some of these places, like that Crucero de Fer, the cross of iron, then that's symbolic of the Camino Santiago's elimination of, or forgiveness of, all your sins. So the people that leave little stones on everything including the markers for the trail or any other significant rock or even insignificant, are all trying to achieve that goal if they know it or not. I just thought this tree-covered portion of the trail made for a very pretty framework for this view. And notice this large slab of rock right here. I wonder what its history is. When I see rock walls like this, I try to imagine how the people put these together. Now granted, it could have been done in the last 50 years when we have that machinery for it, but those are big walls, big investment. And in these old communities, you see the investment in the community in the form of its oldest buildings, its walls, infrastructure that lasts quite some time, even though something like this is starting to deteriorate. Still probably get some use out of it, but the slate's falling off the roof. Just a little farming community. Not much here, nothing open. A couple of cows looking at what I'm doing. And here you can see how these old buildings continue to be used. Modern tractor equipment in here. Cow shit all over the place because that's the business they're in. Lovely walk down through this tree shaded arbor. Steeply sloping pastures. And the stone walls, the path starts to arch down further. This is interesting. It's a engraved stone. I don't know if you can make it out, but there's this arch here. And it comes down, does a couple of crenellations, and then a mushroom. Then back up here like this and like that and that, and then down through here somehow, some things up in here. Looks like there's a point of something right there. Here we're entering a small little stone village. One street going up to the right, one straight ahead, a little one, and then the one we take down below. Look at the size of this tree. How long has it been here? Isn't that amazing? Imagine when this building was first built and the people who lived in it could appreciate the shade that comes from this now completely dead tree. What lives have passed in this village? What were they like? What stories could be written that would enthrall? I just wanted to record this imaginative and well done paving of stones, if you will. Notice how there's a little decline in the center, channeling water down here to where there once was a drain, and all of those come together right here for these, what are 1, 2, 5 streets, if you will. Very well done. About to enter San Martino. Somewhere soon we should be getting to Samos because it was 6 kilometers way, way back. Imagine that doorway reached by these now defunct and fern-covered stairs. Once served a purpose, as did the building at large. And now it's just covered with vines, and it'll slowly decay into nothing. Was there a time when somebody sat in a chair and watched their lives go by? And what about there? See those steps there? Going up into that building no longer used. Someone once had the bucks and the need for this probably 12 to 15 foot high wall surrounding this area. Whether it was a wall for the town or not, I don't know. I don't think so, because it's too high up on the hill from the town down below.